Welcome back. I'm Nefertari and Kinjay with your distance learning lesson for week 7, day 31. What can you expect from the daily videos? Each video is different depending on the lesson, but you can expect a list of the resources and materials needed, a brief overview of the learning for the day, a quick modeling of the reading, thinking, speaking, and writing required for the lesson, and a preview of the upcoming lessons. It is day 2. Yesterday we launched a new text, an article entitled "The Sun is Also a Star," and we engaged in our first read activity. Today we will formally do our first read, record our annotations, and a summary. Always remember that after you complete the lesson, share your learning with someone else, and then complete 20 minutes of reading per day of the text of your choice. Our riddle of the day. A boy was at a carnival and went to a booth where a man said to the boy, "If I write your exact weight on this piece of paper, then you have to give me $50. But if I cannot, I'll pay you $50. Well, the boy looked around. He saw no scale. So he agreed, thinking no matter what the carnival worker writes, I'll just say I weigh a little more or a little less. In the end, the boy ended up paying the man $50. How did the man win the bet? That's the question today. How did the man win the bet? Think about it, students. Okay, it's time to reveal our answer. The man did exactly as he said he would do, and he wrote your exact weight on the paper. Tricked him good, beat the boy for $50. Don't let it happen to you, scholars. Always use your minds and think. For our lesson materials, we are in lesson 31, which can be found on page 88. Your note catcher for lesson 31 can be referenced on page 89. And again, our text is on pages 84 and 85. You also need a writing utensil. This week's focus, once again, is our text, "The Sun is Also a Star." It's a news article, and we'll keep these guiding questions in mind. Do we determine our own destiny? And how does the popularity of stories focused on destiny reflect human beings' common desire to control their own fate? Lesson 31's target is I can read and summarize the information presented in the article. I can identify the CRE, that's the claim, reasons, and evidence or examples from the text. In terms of a lesson overview, in yesterday's lesson, we read the text just to learn more about the concept vocabulary, and we described the universal appeal of stories about love and destiny. Well, today we will reread the article, read it aloud like you typically do for a first read, and we're going to think about our general understanding of the article. And then we'll talk about the article with family members or friends. So, for today's lesson, always read, then think. As you're thinking, you're going to underline words or phrases or sentences that identify the author's main argument. Circle any reasons the author provides to support his argument or claim, and then draw an arrow from the reason to any relevant examples. You also want to talk about the lesson with a caregiver, family member, or friend, and discuss what the texts in the unit seem to have in common. Lastly, we will write. And when we write, we're using the CRE acronym to write about a summary of this text. So C, once again, stands for the claim, R, reason, and E, evidence or example. When you're reading "The Sun is Also a Star," remember to read the text aloud because this complements the comprehension process. As you read, we always notice, annotate, connect, and respond. That's our first read routine. Then think about this. You're going to underline words, phrases, or sentences that identify the author's main argument. You're going to circle any reasons the author provides to support the main argument that's presented in the text. So just circle those and draw an arrow from the reason to the relevant example the author includes to prove his point, his or her point. So always follow those steps. You won't go wrong. And then use your notes from your first read to help you answer questions about the text. To do a quick model of how I annotated the text, let's go back to the top of page 2. What I circled was that the movie doesn't shy away from racial tensions. Daniel's family makes assumptions about Natasha based on her skin and hair. The assumptions they make, the hint of racial tensions, I felt were relevant. That's why they're circled. Then, in terms of evidence, I pointed to this claim. It's important to see perspectives other than our own. And in this paragraph, I love the phrase #representation matters. So we underline the claim, circle the reasons, and draw arrows to the relevant evidence. For the rest of your lesson, you want to talk and write. When you talk, you always talk to a family member, caregiver, or friend. And today we'd like for you to talk about what the texts in this unit have in common. For the write today, you're going to write a summary using the CRE, the claim, the reason, and the evidence that the author uses to help you write a summary. As always, if you have questions, email your teachers for support. As a preview of our upcoming lesson, we will reflect and respond to the CRE, the claim, reasons, and evidence presented in the text, and then we will evaluate word choice so that we can determine the tone. Thank you for learning with me today. Your reminders, don't forget to talk about your lesson with someone, read for 20 minutes, and then practice your reading fluency. Thank you.